use the mic. Though it's off, but for recording purposes, he would want to capture the voice. My name is Gloria Ssekyewa, Mrs. I've been married for 10 years. No, I'm making 10 years next year. I've been married for 9 years. I got married in 2016, 10 years after graduation. The holy wait, right? She was talking about her wedding. I was there to be happy and celebrate with her. I was glad. She moved. We actually, you people, what you should know, you should learn to stand by one another. Once one gets a breakthrough, stand with one another. That is when God will bless you. I used to dream being a Mrs. someday. Growing up, she told you her journey. I'm telling you mine shortly. I used to admire people wear gowns, getting married and reaching somewhere. And I used to attend every wedding, whether I know you or I don't know you. I remember at campus, my friends told me, every Saturday, honestly, some people I didn't even know. But just because I admired and I really wanted to have my own family someday. Okay? So here comes the singles ministry. One time I walked into Christ the King, out of fun, you know. I went into a Catholic school somewhere in Entebbe. The former mayor of Entebbe was one of the patrons we had then in the Catholic Charismatic Renewal of my school. So he introduced me to the Catholic Charismatic prayer group of the school. And I was like, okay, I think these people have something different. They pray differently. And I joined the Renewal. That was senior 5, senior 6. Then after senior 6, I'm like, now what? Okay. I reached campus. Campus is fun. No one to tell you what to do. You have all the freedom. Actually, this ministry is for we said from 18 onwards. But it's the best ministry for all campusers. So reaching campus, I didn't know what to do. I also went into some bit of dating. You know, dating is okay. It is not courtship. There are two different things. A teenager can date. You can also date. Because dating, you're not restricted on who to date. You're just going out for chips. Nowadays, it was chips and chicken then. Okay? I reach campus. I start enjoying just like any other girl. I remember I was a community psychologist then, and our faculty, our institute was next to CCE. So what made actually, God will always look out for you when he sees you going astray. So when I reached campus, the excitement got hold of me. Ooh, you know, you want to go to club. That was my first time to go to Angenois. And trust me, when you have God in your heart, he will always put a situation that will make you hate that place forever. I went to Angenois because of peer influence. My friends wanted me to go out with them. And reaching the club, I swear I spent the whole night sleeping in the coaches. I slept, you know, with that loud sound. I'm going to use 2 languages. For those who don't understand English, and so I'm going to try to mingle. So when I reached, and I slept the whole night. But then deep within me, I had that conviction, you don't belong here. The following morning, I go to St. Augustine Chapel. The preaching was all about me. The preaching was all about who? And I remember I had lied to my father that we had a tour, because those days we used to ask for money to go for tours. So I told Daddy, we have a tour. We are going to Camp Iringisa, because that's when social scientists, that's where we used to go. We are going to Camp Iringisa, and when we go to Camp Iringisa, we are not going to come back. We shall come back tomorrow. Of course, as a parent, my thinking was way below. And he was like, now this girl is lying. She's planning for something. My dad was not bad. He gave me the money. But he made sure he passes by campus to monitor and see really whether my psychology class had gone to Camp Iringisa. And when we reached campus, whom does he see? Gloria walking about the institute, planning for the night. So he kept quiet. He didn't tell me anything. He went back home. I went back home the following day. After going to St. Augustine and the preaching was on me, I go home. And he asked me, Glo, how was the tour? I was like, Daddy Badake, we had fun. We had fun. And then I had a boyfriend who was trying to get hold of me, of course. As a young girl, this guy was not studying here, I was studying in Nairobi, but I wanted to spend some time with him. But when you have God with you, he will always put protection around you, okay? So when I reached home, I told him. Then he sat me down. My dad has a tendency, he used to have a tendency of telling you to bring a mat in his sitting room. You sit down as a Muganda girl, and he starts giving you other counseling. So he told me, Mwana wange, yes, wakubere. After lying to him, are you serious? Then I told him, yes, Daddy, it was fun. We had fun. Then he asked me one question that gave me away. Because which road is camping in Gisa? I swear I didn't know. I didn't know where camping in Gisa was. Okay? I'm sorry. So, that was the beginning of catching the thief. Do you know what he did? That time it was time of Father Msara and Father Ruzindana. They really did good ministry. They used to do very good ministry among the youth in university. Yeah? Do you know what he said? He just gave me transport. Please, this is your transport for all the days. There is a youth sharing conference. There is a conference at Sharing Hall in Zambia. This is your transport for the whole week. Genda with juicy. Oh my God. I cried. You know the conviction. And when I reached the conference, it was like as if Father Msara knew whatever I had done. He also started nailing me. That was the beginning of my transformation. Actually, when I went for that conference, my life has never been the same. I stood in Christ. I stood the test of time. I stood the test of singleness. I stood the storms, but Jesus was with me. And I'm here to encourage you. At this moment in time, you're looking for spouses. You're looking for people to settle down with. Let me tell you, Dr. Miriam has told you, even here where we are, there are storms. But when you go through those storms as a single person, you can handle the storms this side. Okay? Are we together? Dating is fun. Date now. But there are times when you reach a stage and you have to go to another level of courtship. Now, I want to know what is the difference between dating and courtship. Before I tell you my story of dating, I prefer calling people by name because Jesus knows us by what? Yes. What is the difference between dating and courtship? Ladies and gentlemen. And ladies, can we clap for the gents here? It takes courage. Most gentlemen don't want to be identified as singles. But gentlemen who are here, I salute you. Yes. What is the difference? Yes, my dear. Tell me, remind me of your name, please. Jenny, yes. Okay. Okay. Mm. Thank you so much, Jenny. To know each other. Okay, can we clap for her? I think she has explained it so well, yeah? Dating is a fun thing, okay? It is fun moment. I remember when we were still in the singles ministry, our days, every Friday would go out. She was talking of, we just wake up in the morning, let's go to Guru. Sweet, we go to, let's go to Ginger. Sweet, you know, it's about fun. And we never minded who you're chilling with. I remember there were quite a number of guys then we used to hang around with, you know. At one point, some guys used to, there is one, my close friend, he's the late. For him, he used to be a friend to everybody. Everybody. So guys started coming, John D. Everyone is your friend. Every guy is your friend. You know, you go around everyone. You know, but that is a time when you're supposed to have fun. You know, when you're supposed to get to know each other. Of course, when through dating, you can identify somebody who has what you want, and that is when now you put a gazette. You know, I think I should get to know this person better. And remember, in this ministry, you're prone to get in conflict. There are those moments when, like, for example, in our days, somebody was trying to court somebody, two girls at the same time. And these two people didn't know that this person was dating them at the same time. And there was a small conflict that came about. So, gentlemen, when you decide to get to know somebody, please try to focus. Yeah? And let this, Dr. Miriam said, make it open. Let you get people to journey with you. Don't journey alone. Let people in the ministry know your intentions for this person. You might be here today looking at somebody seated next to you, and you never know where this person, you and this person are going to end. Okay? This person, what our challenge as ladies, we tend to underestimate the gents, the church boys. Am I? Church boys, church boys. Me, I don't want to go with these church boys, but let me tell you something. God presents himself in a very humble way. Okay? I remember our times, the people, of course, we used to be with in the singles ministry were those humble boys. And now, I am telling you, majority have the most beautiful families. And you, ladies, for us, God gave us something different. Until we can make these men what you want them to be. You can look at a guy presenting himself to you and is like, Glo, I want to date you. I want to get to know you better. I'm telling you that out of experience. Mr. Ssekyewa came, I was like, They attended the wedding, and I'm sure people are like, this is Mr. Ssekyewa, this is the lady, you know. Oh no, Ssekyewa to take Gloria, because I was this girl who was this way. I was this way. Okay? And I know your girls, they are ladies here. Then let me tell you, God presents himself in the most simple, you know, in the simplest way possible. The way I met Mr. Ssekyewa, we were in a singles conference, Namgongo. But this is a guy I used to see at our parties, family parties. I'm telling you, and that's like you ladies here. Most of you think these boys, these gentlemen here, see classy. Now, when Mr. Ssekyewa presented himself, he came a fully laid manifesto. God is serious. And that time I was really tired. Like most of you are like, but God brings these men in our lives and we take them for a ride. Because you feel you cannot date somebody who is not of your status. Banange katonda yatuwa status. Mr. Ssekyewa came very humble. This is Luganda. Nyabo. But then in my heart I was like, no. Owa. And I'm telling you, they wanted somebody of my, because I used to work with her in Zambia, my settings were for doctors, pharmacy technicians. Nga bwe wondezaamu abo bajja okufuna omwami wa. Banange when God came, God brought me Ssekyewa. Nyabo mbadde nsaba kwogera naawe. I remember the first time he called me. I was pissed. I was at home. I told Mommy, now you look at this one. This time I started even my wine business. I used to get my money. I am a consultant in one or another. I go for years here and there. Mama, Mr. Ssekyewa comes in a very, very humble way. He picks me home. I was like, okay, he has a car, tick. Then I'm like, okay. Dressing code, the shoes, no. Because he was putting on open shoes, the scholars. And I'm like, this one. So my man's like, you just listen to me. I'm in this wedge. Those days, wedges had just come. I'd put on my wedge, a very nice dress smartly. I'd not put on weight. Like, I've been big, but then I had a structure, very nice shape. So Mr. Ssekyewa picks me up, we go, and I listen to him. He drove me. I had to do my business. He waited for me. I remember I had a presentation with Rotary Club of Theta. He drove me up to Theta. I made my presentation in Theta. He waited for me. I tried a hotel. He picked me. He took me for a date. And I'm like, okay, just like, I didn't even imagine this guy would take me for a wife. You people. Guy, you're laying a manifesto. After, by the time we finished that date, the person who was up there, I was like, okay. Ono guy alabika alimu ku magezi lwakuba nkwanye mu Luganda. But still the Gloria who wanted high-end men was not yet dead in me. I was like, let me just enjoy dating. But remember, I surpassed that stage of dating. I was 33 then. Like now, I've surpassed that stage of dating. But then, Mr. Ssekyewa was good enough. He was patient with me. He told me all his stories. He told me his falls. He told me his ups and downs and why he wanted me for a wife. And the first quality he told me, you're a happy woman. I want a happy wife in my home. You are happy, you're jolly, you always look out for others. Please allow me to take you for a wife. I swear I had never got a man in my life who came straight on and told me, I want to take you for a wife. And when he told me that, I started coming down. I was like, okay, Dr. Miriam was telling us, go on your knees, pray. Start telling God about the prince. Remember, I started telling God about the prince. But the prince I thought was coming was the other ones of Mills and Bones. Mustache, broad chest, tall, with a height. Ooh, God brought a very humble, short, small, but with a huge soul. And I was like, okay. So he came, I went back and told Mommy the story. Mom is like, Vera, mo webereremu. Mubasajja bonna, actually another lesson, ladies. When you're dating, now I'm making a presentation. I don't want to be formal, but I want us to share experiences. I normally use personal experiences. When you're dating, make your parents your friends. Get a close friend you share with. Dr. Miriam told you about it. My mom was my best friend, and my late auntie, the nun. Sister passed away after fulfilling her mission. She prayed with me. She fasted with me. She used to go to the chapel and put my pictures in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And God allowed her to see my wedding. And immediately after the wedding, a month later, God called her. But I promised her I'll live to testify and talk about you wherever I go. She stood with me. Get somebody to stand with. When I told my mommy told me, webereremu. I went and met Mr. Ssekyewa for the second time. This time he came very smart. He was going to meet my late auntie. He actually insisted, let me go and meet your auntie. I was like, that one we shall talk about courtship. How long does courtship take? Okay? So I'm like, he insisted. I'm like, okay, you come home and pick me. Those days cars really used to make sense, but nowadays, as you grow up, he picked me up, we went to Entebbe. And my auntie, God used my auntie to make me see what I could not see in this man. Me, I was about dating and having fun and taking me out for chips and for evenings and for having fun. To burn off the stress as I wait for that mustache guy, the Mills and Boons guy. So God used my auntie to see him, what I could not see. So when I saw my auntie coming down, and he asked him, Bakuzarawa, the gentleman, I don't know, but he came prepared for me. He told my auntie everything, where he is born, and the date he's going to take me to church, everything. To me it was like, my auntie namugamba, bwoba bwotyo bwosa. Actually he came saying, bulijjo njagala okusisinkana naye ng'ondi wala. Naye nga bwe nfunye omukisa, bino nabyo kambi kugambe. Nga ono gaya kwanna mu Luganda agapi. So ladies manifesto n'agamba senga wange muwala wansanyusa. Bino nze bye mwagalako. Ye nga yabiraba dda. Mukyala musanyufu, mukozi, ayaniriza abantu. Senga nandyagadde okubeera n'omuntu nga bw'ati mu bulamu bwange. To tell you the truth, nze senga owange ye yanzikiririza. Naye kubanga ye yalaba muwala wali muki mu muzannyo. She was like, okay, can you come, both of you here? Since she had the religious powers, and please kneel down. Bwoba bwotyo bw'ogambye nga muwala wange omusiimye ate ng'ombuulidde n'olunaku lw'ogenda omutwala mu bufumbo obutukuvu, mufukamire wansi mbawo omukisa. Nafa naye nga senga akoze eki nga sikyadda mabega. Ne ngamba Mukama, if this is your will, let your will be done. And my Senga made sure she created those moments of us seeing each other all the time. And when you see each other all the time, so by the time of the wedding, we're all over each other. And those people who attended our wedding, I think you saw the glory of God. It was massive. The glory of God. And I didn't see it coming, of course. Now, ladies, whatever God brings, Katonda aleta byesabise. Katonda aleta kyesabise. Ngenda okutuuka mu bufumbo nga ngamba, kino nakyo nandi kisubiddwa. Me, I am the most peaceful woman in this earth. I have peace. Si omuntu agenda okuddaawo akuwogganire oba biki. Of course, misunderstandings are there, but you always come and sit down and talk about them. And for me, since I'm a big woman, I have to make sure I feed him. And he becomes big also. So if you see this Ssekyewa now, he's a dude. Eh? I wish you had a projector. God has blessed us with 2 sons, a boy, Josiah, and Jonathan. And let me tell you something, ladies. Age is just a what? I got married at 30 what? 10 years later, now I have a 7-year-old son. Actually, I would be having 8 or 9. Actually, 9-year-old because I got a miscarriage. Actually, you are telling your story. Your story is similar to mine. Even my son used to wake up at night and cry. You wake him up, he doesn't wake up. Like Mukama. So what I prayed for him. And I'm like, okay. Where I got married, I didn't know. But even neyo numba, kati wemba mugenda okufumbirwa during this time of courtship, get to know both sides. Don't only look at the beauty. Now we are going to courtship. Courtship is going to lead us to marriage. Dating is for fun. Now after gazetting and identifying that chick or that lady you want, or gentleman you want to get married to, I said, Gloria, and I really excited. My courtship was about 6 months. 6 months, ng'omusajja ekintu akigadde. Ye yali sure kyatwala akimanyi. Naye ze eggulo saatwala budde kumanya kiki kyenkola ki? The other side. And I don't want you to make the same mistake. When you get into a courtship, courtship is a relationship that is going to lead you to marriage. Get to know the person you're going to get married to. Get to know their family. Now we are looking at the social aspect of courtship. Can we write it down? We are looking at the social aspect of courtship. Courtship involves 2 adults. Okay? Dating can involve a teenager, somebody campus or somebody who is not yet. When you're dating, you can do anything. But when you're into courtship, now this is a journey that is leading you to marriage. What are some of the things you're supposed to look at when you're courting somebody? Let us look at the social aspect. After getting into marriage and getting those challenges, after the wedding, my wedding was so beautiful. I got married in St. Charles. And those who attended, really, the church was so good for me. And I remember when she got married, I was like, okay, the song she sang when she was leaving, moving out of the exit song, Because of You, I made sure I also sing it. That is how connected I am to her. And when we sang There Is a Place and we moved out, everyone was excited. My brother was like, Glo, this is a testimony. I was like, okay, make sure when you're moving out, this whole Ntinda community gets to know you're married. Because people have talked and talked and talked. Now this is the time for you to shut them up. If it's possible, he was insisting, if possible, let's get an open roof car. So that you go out waving, everyone has to say, That's how fun it was. But you know, when you win the devil, you have to make sure it is really won. Omukubira olunyata kuki? Ku mutwe. So the wedding was good. Now, the wedding is just a kadari, reception, you eat. Now the real wedding is after. Yeah? Kati jukira, in courtship, there are certain things you didn't discover. And when you reach there, that is when you really face the reality of life. My dear, my mom was the naba fumbo then at church. I used to go and cry for her every time. Mommy, I take a judo chino, mommy. I never used to leave home almost every week I would go home. She was like, Glo, wasara wangu oli mukuru. The 5 years of marriage are not easy. When you don't take time, as in, because you didn't get time to get to know this person. I expected this, but you will overcome. Generally, I started courtship in marriage. Me, just to get to know my partner better. That is when I got to know his family. I knew his family, but I didn't know the deepest. Okay? I knew his mom, his siblings, but of course there are those cousins and other things that follow, that come from our family trees. Some of you have gone to the family tree sessions. So when you get there and you discover, when I got the first miscarriage, I was like, because when I mapped back, my husband, my mother-in-law has only 3 children, but he had 7. And I'm like, this must not follow me. I started praying about that. But if I'd known it before, probably I would have prayed about it before getting. Banange, when you're courting, get to know about your partners, okay? Get to know their family backgrounds, get to know their siblings, get to know the social activities. What do they do? Abamu basinza bakatonda abalala ffe betutakola ki? Betutasinza. And you're this Christian girl who believes, Jesus took it all. Jesus did it all when you also put in your own what? Effort. Don't be in the comfort zone. Get to know this person, okay? Get to know their friends. Our men these days, bananga abami. Tulina ekizibu. Abampulira Radio Maria nakyogerako. Abakyala abali wano bakabira obufumbo kino kankizena mu Luganda. Abasajja b'ennaku zino tebalina buvunaanyizibwa. Mukimanyi si mwenna naye ab'omulembe guno tebalina buki. Kati ebintu ebyo byonna bw'obitegeera nga olaba red flags, don't go in that marriage. Waliwo kye bayita narcissism. It is a personality disorder. Mukimanyi ekyo? Abasajja b'ennaku zino balina embeera y'okubeera nti bo, it is them, everything it is them. Ate ludda tetubanenya. But how do we handle? How do we handle? How do we help them? Bami nabo baba tebakimanyi. Nti he's nagging. Alina empisa embi. Buli empisa mbi yonna ng'eri kuki? Ku ye. Naye omuntu bw'oba omwagadde omanya ekintu ky'oba okikwata. NPD is a disorder and it is common lately and it's breaking up marriages. Otuuka eyo ng'olaba bambi gwe, you're trying your best. You're trying to be the best wife. Naye nga ye takulabawo wadde n'akamu. Okay? And it is a disorder that can be, if you get to know this person, also okujaninga naye abamba batebeemanyi. We have what we call a Johari's window. Omu abatamanyi kyali naye nga gwe omulaba alina ekizibu bwe kiti. So if you can help them get over that, it is not something easy. It is not. Naye bw'olaba red flags, ebimu be leading even to death. I have a cousin who passed away because she was in such a relationship. The guy was never home. The guy was full of himself. The guy was full of self-love. And we don't blame them. I think it comes way back. We were over-empowered and the boy child was neglected. Now, in this ministry, Dr. Miriam, since you're a medical personnel, I'm also into the same field, I think we should also organize a men's conference. Agree? Let us do a men's conference because I insist it is this ministry that feeds the marriage ministry. It is this ministry that feeds the other side. So it doesn't make sense for us to have more ladies in the house and we don't have gentlemen. That's why I said, gentlemen who are here, I salute you. Because you discovered the best. And if you want help, this is the beginning. We are not here to judge anybody, but we are here to help. Me, I'm a psychologist by profession. I'm a counselor. Me and Dr. Miriam and Alex are experts in this area. We can help.
We can help the men also rediscover themselves. Abawala tebagala basajja batalina buvunaanyizibwa. Nakuzaalamu omwana nakulekawo. Now, what happens when it gets into marriage? You know what? It really, really hurts for you to wake up in the morning and you're sleeping beside an empty pillow. Yet you invited so many people for your wedding. I have so many friends who actually undergoing. They are separating. The church these days gave that leverage because of the mental health issues. They separated. But why do we separate? The sacraments are forever. When you go into that relationship, go there determined to win. For better, for worse. So, it is not just about the kadari. How do we call kadari in English? The net. We used to call it the mosquito net. It is not all about the veil. It is so much. And marriage is not about just intimacy. It comes along with responsibility, parenting. Now imagine, you're married, your partner is not there, you're struggling. We have so many women who are single mothers now. So many. And we also have men who are also single parents. But it's so common with women because of what is happening today. So when you're courting somebody, please look out for the red what? For the red flags. Okay? And when we're into courtship, this involves our families, we involve our friends, and also we involve the people we care about. Okay? Who has a Bible? Please read for us Proverbs 18:22. Whoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from. Why don't they say whoever finds a husband? Whoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. Have you seen scenarios whereby Dr. Miriam talked of staying in 2 rooms? Katinofe. Because my dad wanted the daughter to be off the shelf, okay? But the legal way and the Christian way. What my dad did, sometimes abazadde baffe bakalubiriza abaami baffe bano. Ne batamanya nti omukyala bw'ogenda n'ogattibwa n'omwami ono, omukyala gwe omwami ono omuwa omukisa, ne mukola, ne mufuna akasente, ne muzimba amaka. Okay? So my dad was like, he was excited. Mutabani, oli omwami Mukama yamuteekako favor. And let me tell you something. When God says yes, nobody stops you. My husband came in full swing. Buli omu n'amwagala, buli omu kati nga Gloria bwe si kyalina kyakola ki. Ng'alina favor. The way he was humble. So my dad is like, no. My son, sigenda namukaluubiriza. Nze kastampa omutwalo gwa taata. Introduction is going to be small. What I want is taking my daughter to the altar. That is the most important thing. And that's what happened. My husband did whatever he did. He took my mutwalo and, we had a very simple introduction. And by the time of the wedding, everyone was like, mwayanjula ddi. Naye nga twakola ki? Nga twayanjula. Because an introduction is family affair. Actually, Dr. Miriam, if there are certain things I could redo, my wedding today, I would invite like 100 people. People have bad hearts. Not everyone is happy when you decide to walk down the aisle. Me, I got to see so many things that I saw after the wedding. I was like, okay, mubano mwajiramu n'abatatwagala. You get to see witchcraft, you get to see, through those gifts, some come through dreams. So if God blesses you with the gift of matrimony, and you're planning for your wedding, first keep it small. Make it pronounced when the time to go to the altar is really. And when you're inviting your guests, these days, kakasente, make a beautiful, simple wedding. You don't have to impress everybody. Although so many guests you invite, I'm telling you that some of them come with bad intentions. So after my kuchala and everything, we started our home. They started in a 2-room. First we started in a normal house, 2 bedrooms, but with our wedding gifts only. With only our wedding what? And our mattress was down. We used to sleep down. And they're like, okay, now we are beginning a journey together. Because reason, I didn't want to take in where he used to sleep. I wanted to start my own home. And because you decide to walk down this journey, God gives favor to this other party. That is why it is in Proverbs. He who finds a good wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from. And when you look at him now, he's one of the guys who work in an international agency that they work for refugees. They are there in the camps. Okay? And I didn't find him like that. So, God blesses marriages. And God blesses men through the women they choose. So, gentlemen, be careful when you're courting, so that you make the right choice of a woman. Osalawo okufuna omukyala alina ekisalaani ekipali era ekipali nga kikugoberera munnange. If you don't get a prayer warrior, still your children, actually it is we, the women, who make our homes what we want them to be. Bana basajja tebalina budde. If you decide for your home to be like that, it will be like, if you decide for your home to have people like prayer and altar, it will always be there. Me, my home, an evening altar is a must. Whether I am home or not, the boys must pray before they sleep. They must pray with their auntie or their sister. I fostered a girl, she's about 19 years. Actually, I learned to bless people. Before I got married, I told God, I want to bless somebody. This girl, I fostered her before I met Mr. Ssekyewa. She's now my boy's big sister. And I told God, I want by the time I get children, my children to be calling her big sister. And God blessed me. She's Josephine, there's Jonathan and Josiah, so you cannot know. Okay? And she has done a very good job. Made a house of maids. She has done a very good job. I've taken her through school. She's now in S5, you know. Learn to bless people. Mukama nga kuwadde sente ng'okyali single. Get somebody to bless. Get an activity to get involved in. Okay? So as we talk about courtship, then marriage is a goal. Whenever we are into courtship, number 2, we are targeting what? Marriage. Don't waste time taking time or wasting someone's time, and yet you're not going to take them to the altar. Men, you have the key. Bw'olaba ng'omwana w'abendi togenda mutwala mu bufumbo butukuvu tomumalira budde. She was sharing her story when father left. We all felt for her. We felt sorry for her, but we could not do anything. Even when Father Alex left. That time dating a person like that, everyone would admire you. These were corporate men. Father Alex would put on his suit. I remember those days. And he comes for the conference, for the meetings up there at Ukro. And every girl would be like, yes. By the time he decided to go, we were like, okay, that is where God has taken him. And we thank God. We met them, and we are proud to talk about them. This ministry is about discerning vocations. You might be here ng'ogenda kubeera mu sister. You might be here ng'ogenda kubeera father. Okay? So you discern and ask God, what do you want me to do? I told God, nze bw'olimpa obufumbo obutukuvu, ngenda kukola mu ministry y'abafumbo ne family paka kuwulira bubi. And I'm proud I'm doing it today. Eh? Promise God something. I'm putting on this golden ring, not because I worked for it, guys. Work for it. Promise God, and God will give you that ring that you want. Not just a ring, but a beautiful marriage. So when we are courting, whoever we are courting, we are working towards a beautiful marriage. Get to know that person. But we can quote in different ways, okay? But Dr. Miriam reminded me when she was, actually reminded me a lot of things. We used to share a lot. I don't know what you share these days in whenever you go for those fellowships. But for us, chastity was number one. Chastity, I reached a time when I left and got a job in Ginger somewhere. And I was staying alone. But just because you have this foundation of chastity and whatever you're getting today, it is going to help you in the future. I reached a time and people are like, how can you stay alone? You mean you sleep alone in that room? Don't you feel cold in the night? I'm like, okay. So what are you insinuating? Huh? You mean you stay alone, Gloria? Of course you get people who hit on you. But just because you have that at the back of your mind, you're like, no, let me wait. The holy wait. It is not easy. Ladies especially. When you are single and living alone, it is not. Omusajja ayinza okujja. I remember some guy came. Nanneesibako. If I didn't have that kind of grooming that I got from here, I swear nantuse time nengamba okay. After all, there is no one seeing me. And it happens. Nah? I used to stay with my brother Patrick.